All right, so today we're going to take a look at 7-5 properties of logarithms. So we have our first property is product property, which states that by adding two logarithms, it's the same thing as multiplying the factors. I'm trying to figure out the best way to phrase it. So for all positive numbers a and b and x, where x does not equal 1, log base x of ab is the same thing as saying log base x of a plus log base x of b. So for example, we have log base 5 of 2 is about 0.4307. We can use this to approximate log base 5 of 250. So we can rewrite log base 5 of 250 as log base 5 of 5 cubed times 2. And using product property, we can rewrite that to log base 5 of 5 cubed plus log base 5 of 2. And we're able to identify that log base 5 of 5 cubed is the same thing as saying 3. And if we can add that to log base 5 of 2, we'll get 3.4304. So go ahead and try this. Pause it on your own to give yourself a chance to try it. All right, so with this, you should get D log base 2 of 3. I'm sorry, log base 2 of 96 is the same thing as 6.5850. For quotient property, the logarithm of a quotient is the difference of the logarithms of the numerator and the denominator. So log base x of a over b is the same thing as saying log base x of a minus log base x of b. So we can go ahead and use that here with the pH of a substance is defined as the concentration of hydrogen ions H to the positive in moles. It is given by the pH formula pH equals log base 10 of 1 over H. Find the amount of hydrogen in a liter of acid rain that has a pH of 5.5. So with that, we can use the formula as well as knowing that the same pH is 5.5. Since it is a quotient, we can go ahead and use quotient property. And as we know, log base 10 of 1 equals 0, so we can say 1 minus 0. 0 minus log base 10 of h, which when we simplify that, we get 5.5 equals negative log base 10 of h. And we can go ahead and rewrite this using transforming it to exponential form, which gets us 10 to the negative 5.5 equals h. So there are 10 to the negative 5.5, or about 0.000032 mole of hydrogen in a liter of this rain. And you can just go ahead and check your work and you would find that yes, they do equal each other. All right, go ahead and try this one out. All right, so pretty much again, the same thing. You get 10 to the negative 6.7, which is 0.0000020, which is C. We also have power property, which just states that the logarithm of a power is the product of the logarithm and the exponent. So we have log base b of m to the p is the same thing as p times log base b of m, which they did use this on the product property example. That's how they got log base 5 of 5 to the third. Log base 5 of 5 is just 1, so 1 times 3 is the same concept. So they're going to use approximation values. One of the reasons they do give us these approximation values would be something like you didn't have a calculator, so you could still calculate this information. So they know that 216 is the same thing as 6 cubed. So by power property, I can move the 3, that is the exponent, to the front. And we know log base 5 of 6 is about 1.1133. And so if we times this by 3, we get 3.3399. Which is about what log base 5 of 216 is. So go ahead and try this one. And you should get C. One of the things you'd probably want to look at is 6 to what power goes into 1296 is what you would need to look for. I would do a calculator, scientific calculator. And you would find actually that 6 to the 4th is equal to 1296. All right, so we're going to head and solve using properties of logarithms. So we have 4 times log base 2 of x minus log base 2 of 5 is equal to log base 2 of 125. So we need to go ahead and solve for x. So here we have our original equation. We're going to use power property, and we get x to the 4th instead of just 4 times log base 2 of x. We're going to use quotient property because we have a minus sign. I have to turn on my camera. My cat is interrupting the lesson, so I can continue going over the problem, but my cat has decided she would like to take part. So we have with quotient property, we have log base 2 of x to the 4th over 5. And so using the property of equality of logarithms, we would set x to the 4th over 5 equal to 125 and solve for x that way. So I would start by multiplying by 5. And then I'm going to take the 4th root of both sides, and we would get 5. While we do actually have a secondary or extraneous solution, which would be -5, you can't take a logarithm of a negative number. So that's why we just take the positive root. And you could substitute this in, and you could check, and yes, you'd find that they do work. So go ahead and try solving 2 times log base 3 of x minus 2 minus 3 log base 3 of 6 equals log base 3 of 150. So go ahead, pause the video and try that out. And you should get 32. That is the end of the lesson, and I will see you next time.